Hello and welcome to Joyful, the podcast that will help you live a more joyful life. I'm your host, Chloe Markham, and it's my mission to help you find more joy every single day. This podcast is a deep dive into ways to reduce your stress, your overwhelm, anxiety, and that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, whilst also diving into the methods, philosophies, and protocols that help us live more connected, grounded, and ultimately happier lives. This is about living life on purpose. Without any further ado, let's dive into today's episode. It's a podcast day. Happy podcast day. How are you feeling today? And let's ruminate on that question for a moment, shall we? How are you feeling today? Take a big breath in, yeah? And make a big ol' sound as you sigh it out. I love this question. How can you enjoy what you're doing right now a bit more? What happens when I ask that? Stuff just kind of drops, right? Like shoulders and jaw and forehead. Just kind of get smushy in your chair or in your boots or whatever you're doing right now. I almost didn't record a podcast today because I'm just having one of those weeks. Hey, I released, ironically, Yoga for PMS yesterday in the library, the Yoga Revolution library. Check that out. There's just classes to help support you when you're feeling like I am. And I suppose really I want to talk about like one thing that really, I suppose, affects me every month when I have PMS. And it doesn't even have to be related to PMS, like it's just because I've been talking about it recently. PMS, I mean. But there's this idea that we're evolving all the time, right? And I think it's this idea today that's really impacting me, that's really making me feel overwhelmed. And when I feel overwhelmed, I just want to like close my eyes, close everything down, ignore it all, and go and run around riding horses on Red Dead, or something. Excellent video game if you guys are interested. It's so fucking good. But I'm not here to talk about Red Dead. I'm here to talk about the overwhelm of health stuff, wellness stuff, well-being stuff, and habits. Because I think this isn't actually talked about enough. And if you Google habits, I'm not going to do it, but if you do, I'm going to imagine, because I've done it plenty of times, that you'll get so many blog posts and resources and podcast episodes and courses and all of this stuff that teaches you how to do habits better, how to be a habit setting machine. And if you listen to my episode from last week, you'll know what I think about productivity. But I kind of want to make a case for slipping up on our habits. It's so interesting. The more and more I talk about productivity, habits, and all of this stuff, the more I'm like, yeah, nah. Let's just be nicer to ourselves and easier and softer and do less. And I keep thinking about these memes I see of like beautiful woodland creatures illustrated. It's like a mouse sitting on a toadstool having a cup of tea with a toad who's, I don't know, wearing galoshes. I don't know. And it's just, that's what my hustle kind of career has turned into. Yes, please, I want more of what the mouse is having. Thank you. But no, so, okay, I go to therapy. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm actually really proud of it. I feel very privileged to be able to, and I can hand on heart confidently say that therapy has been one of the most profound things I've ever spent money on. Probably the best thing I've ever done for my mental health. But not only that, it's like my personal evolution, how I understand my own self, right? It's a huge deal. I'm going to leave a link to Ashley, who is my therapist, below. She's actually a relationship therapist, relationship counsellor, but hey, I started seeing her when I just got out of a relationship, and we talk so much about non-relationship things, as I'm going to talk about today. So yeah, I really recommend checking her out. She's incredible. I see her right now fortnightly on Zoom, and it's so fucking brilliant. She's amazing. And yes, sometimes, you know what, we talk about maths from a very therapeutic point of view, like a psychological point of view. Like, isn't it interesting? You can really see her anxious attachment showing there, you know? Anyway, so something Ashley and I have been speaking about, and something that has kind of come up for me recently in my PMS maelstrom of shit, is that as a kind of wellness professional, I suppose you could say, I have all of these habits, not even wellness related. You guys know probably I play the violin very shit, very shit standard. I play the piano. I got to my grade 5 this summer gone. Very proud of that. I have a sleep tracking ring. I focus on sleep a lot. I focus on diet a lot. I fast. I try not to eat sugar. Practice yoga. Do booty workouts because of my hip impingement. Like on and on and on and on. Morning routines, meditation, breath practice, visualization, brushing my teeth, oiling my hair. Like there are so many things. So many fucking things that I do as a way of maintenance, right? It kind of like, I suppose with my aim being I want to live a more joyful, easy, relaxing life, I'm kind of using a lot of these things as crutches, and I'm not saying any of them are bad. None of the habits I do are bad. None of them. In fact, I would say all of them are really, really positive. However, what's negative about it, and this is coming so timely because I spoke to a TYR member about this last week, what's negative about it is when you're really fucking hard on yourself on all of these habits. And in the same kind of vein, it's like, it's so easy to get lost down rabbit holes of, in you know, these 2-3 hour long podcasts and self-care books, self-help books. So up until very recently, and I'm going to thank one of my besties, Pippa, for supporting me in this, I was exclusively reading fiction books, which is brilliant. And I will always read. Sorry, I mean non-fiction. Why do I always get them mixed up? So non-fiction being my thing, you know, like a Brené Brown book or a book about, like a James Nestor book. I really recommend his book, Breath. But we're not talking about that. It would always be a book to support my mental health journey or my physical health or understanding some quirk of blah, 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 whatever, right? And that's wonderful, and I love that. But it took my friend Pippa to be like, wait, when was the last fiction you read? And I was just thinking, I don't know. Maybe Harry Potter when I was in the depths of despair in my last relationship. You know, I picked up a Harry Potter and it was a tiny escape for me, and why don't I read fiction more often? My point being that it's very easy, isn't it, to get stuck in these loops and processes of self-betterment and kind of like personal evolution. But there's so much information out there, so many habits that you can adopt. It becomes absolutely overwhelming, and it does the opposite. So for instance, I've got an Aura ring, love it. I've probably talked about it before. It's actually been amazing. I really, really love it. But they've just updated the rings, and so you have an app every day, and it basically measures like an Apple Watch would do, but less intrusive, you know. But it measures your vitals, all of the vitals you can think of, basically. And it's just started to give you, as well as a daily sleep score and a readiness score, it's now giving you a daily stress score. So throughout the day, not just at night, it's telling you how stressed you are. And I actually think knowing this information has made me more stressed, because I'm looking at it being like, fuck me, today was a day off and I've been stressed all day, according to my ring, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is this attitude we have towards all of the things to make us better all of the time. Holy shit, there's too many things, too little time. Panic. Don't do any of them, or feel guilty or both. And then you kind of like spiral into negative habits. So for instance, with me, so I'm really into fasting. I'm not going to guide you to any resources. I'm not going to tell you why. I just think it's great and it suits me, and it doesn't suit everybody, and that's all right. But I really like it. But when and if, because this happens all the time, I slip up on fasting, it's like, oh my God, I stopped fasting for the day. I'm an awful person. I can't maintain habits. I'm a fucking fraud. What's wrong with me? Okay, I'll make cookies and eat the lot, right? And so it kind of leads us down this spiral. And I think all of, there's kind of two separate things I'm talking about here, right? Is like our personal habits that we keep up and maintain and want to do. And then there's this overwhelming amount of information about what habits you should be doing, what things you should be doing all the time. And I think it's a really, I don't know, it's well-meaning, isn't it? I mean, for instance, this podcast, everything I do is about positive habits. Arguably, I'm a habit teacher rather than a yoga teacher, because I want you to use tools, yoga being one of them, meditation being another, to support your well-being and to help you live a more joyful, grounded, connected life. So, I'm here a part of this problem, but I think it just comes down to individuality, and that's what I want us to consider today. And this is something that I'm considering massively in my own self, because what's the aim? And I think this is the whole question that I've been talking about with, my therapist Ashley, and been really thinking about myself. What's the aim of all of this? And it's so interesting because, again, one of my girlfriends, she plays Wordle, and I think she's on like day 120. Her streak is enormous. I have another friend who's doing that with Duolingo, and it was like day 500 and something. That's amazing. For me, I have a journal app, and I really find daily journaling really helpful. And that has a streak, metric-y, what's it too, right? So I can see you're on day 24, and it's like, oh fuck, no pressure. And then when I slip and I'm on day 2 or whatever, it's just, oh my God, that sucks. So what is our aim? Is our aim to get to like 20,000 days? I mean, I don't know how many days that is. How many years is that? I don't know. My instant maths sucks. I had a primary school teacher who literally yelled at me for mental arithmetic and getting it wrong, and the pressure, I can't deal. So Mrs. Keeley, if you're listening, please fuck off. You're yelling at me. I don't know how many days that is, or years, or... My point being, is that our aim? Because I've been wandering through my life thinking, not really thinking, but subconsciously thinking, that is our aim. My aim is to do all of these things every day. All of the things, all day. Because that to me is what a wellness person, yoga teacher, yoga studio owner, happy individual, healthy individual does. Okay, so morning meditation, morning journaling, morning breath work, a yoga class every day, brushing my teeth, dry skin brushing, oiling my hair, face yoga, face massage, lymphatic drainage massage, like fasting, no sugar, no dairy, like shopping organically, finding ethical clothing. Oh my God, on and on we can go. Eating enough fibre, like drinking enough water, not binging shit TV shows, reading the right amount of self-help books, reading the right amount of fiction books, reading the exact classical fiction that I want to read, like listening to oh my God, give yourself a fucking break, you crazy person. So that list of things is genuinely what I have in my kind of like unspoken about daily to-do list. How ridiculous. By the time I've gotten all of those things done, I haven't even spoken about my music practice, and then work, and then, you know, relationships, and maintaining a diary, and, you know, it becomes a full-time fucking job. And let me just caveat all of this by saying, sometimes that's so fucking wonderful. Sometimes all of those things happen in one day and I'm feeling alive and switched on, and I don't even notice that I'm doing those things. They make me feel better. You know, and those days are probably in the first like week of my cycle, like just post period. I'm just feeling, oh yeah baby, I can get all of this shit done today. I'm a massive, you know, queen, goddess. I can do anything. I can conquer the world. I can change the world. You know what I mean? Wonderful. Truly wonderful. When I'm getting to my luteal phase, so pre-period phase, which right now can last up to 2 weeks. Yay. It's just like, wait, what? What do I have to do today? It's so overwhelming. But my point being is, like, we put this extra pressure on ourselves to perform in these particular ways, or else we're not good enough. If we lose our streak, what does that mean? If my friend loses her Wordle streak, it's just a word game, by the way, if you didn't know, it's great. What does that mean? She's lost? She's a loser? Like, no. My other friend playing using Duolingo, that language app. Again, is she a loser? Is she bad at languages? Because, well, maybe she might be, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, is she a bad person? Is she a pathetic individual for, you know, quitting her Duolingo streak? No. If I stop my journal, no. It does. Like, these streaks don't matter. And actually, I don't know if they're very helpful. If you want to keep a streak, maybe they should be optional, right? But I suppose I'm just making a case for living more enjoyably. And you know, I've been talking about this the past few episodes, living more enjoyably. And so what of these habits, what of these podcasts that you listen to, and non-fiction books that you read, and blog posts and YouTube videos and blah, 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 on and on and on. What of them do you actually sit down and be like, oh, I can't wait to listen to this today? Because I can do it the same, you know, obviously I run my own business. And I remember when I started, you know, when I opened the brick and mortar studio that me and my ex-partner opened in York, I was all the time down the rabbit hole of how do I make my business succeed. And it became chronic. The overwhelm was unbelievable. And it took my partner to say, hey Chloe, I think you should stop listening to all of the things. It's like we think this time is wasted unless we are learning something or doing something that's going to benefit our kind of future selves. Or if we don't meditate right now, we're going to be chronically stressed forever and die. I mean, we're all dying, baby. We are all dying. It's a slow march toward death. This is a very sobering thought. And your meditation streak, your Wordle streak, your Duolingo streak, the amount of fucking Huberman Lab podcasts that you've listened to ain't gonna fucking matter one iota, because you're gonna be dead. Listen to the Yoga Revolution podcast. It's super cheery. I don't know. And I suppose this is something that I'm still kind of coming to terms with in my own head. These habits that I keep up. But put simply, what of them do we enjoy? What do you enjoy doing? What gives you a little pep? And I think that the key is, and I speak about this so much in that PMS, Yoga for PMS course that I created for the membership, it's like, babe, you gotta be a little easier on yourself. Holy shit. Because the most difficult, challenging part of PMS isn't the PMS itself. Sure, it sucks. But it's this idea that, yes, but I have so much to do. Oh my god, I need to be productive. I need to be this and that and the other. I can't do it all. I can't spin all the plates. Why are they crashing around me? I'm a bad person. I'm a fucking shithole. No one likes me. I'm unlovable. oh my God. But I know that you're listening to me thinking, come on, Chloe, this is ridiculous. But I also know that that's the internal voice that happens in your head, probably, when you fuck up, when you skip a habit today, when you don't brush your teeth. I don't know what it is, but sometimes brushing my teeth feels overwhelming when I'm really deep in PMS. Sometimes all of the habits combined that I'm supposedly doing to keep myself happy and sane and healthy are making me unhappy, insane and unhealthy because I'm in such a spiral about it. And so I was speaking to this, TYR member. We're doing a little work together. Hey girl, if you're listening. And I think the advice here is to just quit. You don't need to be the best version of yourself all the time. You don't need to be hacked, as in health hacked, to within an inch of your life. You don't need these things to live positive, healthy, meaningful, connected lives. I think when it comes to finding habits and lifestyle tweaks that you want, I think it's about doing the things that, I suppose prioritizing. So for me, a priority is journaling in the morning and meditation in the morning. Do I do them every day? No, I fucking don't. Certainly not meditation, but I do them more days than I miss them. And my mission here, and I'm not saying I have this nailed down, but my mission is to be like, oh, it's okay that you missed today. It's okay that I checked my phone first thing. It's not very healthy of me to do that. It's not the best way to start the day, but I'm not going to let it impact the rest of my day. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to try my best in the morning to meditate because I feel better for it. I'm certainly going to try to brush my teeth because I'm interacting with people today. No, but I'm going to do these things, and if I don't, it's okay, babe. You got it. It's okay. And it's that simple consciousness. And so, because for instance, right, I have this, and this is a like massive TMI, but I watch videos of myself back, my yoga classes and on-demand classes, and I look and I'm like, oh my God, who let Fatty in the building? I literally say this to myself. And if you haven't seen me in person, I'm like a comfy size 10, size 12. Sure, I've lost a bit of weight. After my breakup, I gained a little bit back, and that's okay. Everyone changes shape, and it doesn't mean anything. I'm healthy, and I'm physically capable, and that's a wonderful thing. But I look at these videos, and I'm like, oh my God. And I know, come on, I know I have issues with self-love and my, body love. It's an ongoing thing I'll never be rid of, I don't think. But the primary thing was like my chins, and I was like, oh my God, who ate all the pies? It's all in my chins. I say this to myself, and I'm like, I need to do something about the chin situation, okay? And as soon as you think that, somehow some magical horrible thing plays in your, I don't know, metaverse bollocks, social media, you know how much I hate it, and starts talking about face yoga. By the way, it's not yoga. Come on, it's not yoga. But maybe it's a face workout. We can call it that. Maybe that's a subject for another podcast. But so yeah, it's these like movements that we do, exercises that we do to strengthen the muscles around the jaw and the neck. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna look like fucking Kate Moss in the next 3 weeks or whatever. So there I am doing these exercises. And I did them for about a month and a half. Every fucking day, man. And I would get up and I'd be like, oh fuck, I've got to do I've got to do this thing, I've got to do this thing. Oh my God. And I would hate it. And then after a month and a half of doing it, I would look in the mirror and be like, maybe there's a bit of difference. And you know what the biggest thing would be for me? I would put a video in the library, or I would edit a yoga class of mine or whatever, and I would look back and be like, Fatty, you look like a troll, and nothing's changed. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm doing these, I don't do them anymore, but I would do these like quite rigorous face movement-y every morning with the aim of making myself look better in my videos. Do I look better? I mean, maybe 0.1%, or arguably, what the fuck is better, by the way? But nothing's changed in my head. So that's an example of a habit that I have stopped doing. And sure, like when I do, you know, my skincare routine, another fucking habit, but when I do that in a morning and on an evening, if I'm feeling it, I give myself kind of like a facial massage, because what a treat that is. That feels lovely. I'm not doing it with the aim of quote unquote looking better. I'm doing it because, what a nice treat. And how nice is that to give ourselves a little bit of love before we start our day or go to bed. But I'm not doing it for the aim. And oh my God, and I think there are other episodes I've spoken about this as well. If your aim when you practice yoga is to look better, the habit that you need isn't the yoga. I mean, everyone needs yoga, but it's actually a shift in your mental attitude toward yourself. And it's the same for me, babe. It's the same for me because, like I've just said, I have in certain occasions, such low self-esteem and body acceptance that it really it can affect your entire life. I'm in my 30s now. It's not okay. It's not appropriate anymore. It's not okay that we talk to ourselves like this when we skip habits, when we forget to do our yoga practice, when we don't fast, when we, you know, forget to take our supplements today, or whatever the thing is, or forget violin practice, or when we have PMS, or we're feeling tired, we've been out the night, like all of these things. And I suppose the ultimate thing, and because I'm speaking to myself right now, I have to keep coming back to, what's the point, Chloe? There has to be a point to this waffle. And the ultimate thing when I speak to my therapist is, what do you enjoy, Chloe? And this is what I've been speaking about to myself and in the podcast recently too. Like, what is the most enjoyable thing about right now? How can I enjoy this more? Is doing face yoga enjoyable in the morning? No, it fucking ain't. Especially when my intention is to do it out of, you know what I've just spoken about, like looking a certain way. And our yoga intention, I just want us to see physical exercise as a way to help us feel better. Oh my God, you have no idea. When you shift your intention to feeling better, mind, body, heart, soul, how impactful that can be, not only on your yoga practice, but on like your entire life. Side effect, we tone up, we get longer, our digestion works better, we get more creative, more productive. But none of these things are the aim. And if they are the aim, we burn out quickly, man. We do. We get to these places where we berate ourselves, and it's not okay. So this is a call for being easy on ourselves and not listening to all the self-care podcasts, not reading all the non-fiction books, not reading all the blogs. Choose one, The Yoga Revolution, and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Move from a place of you get to do this rather than you have to. Because, babe, you don't have to do nothing. You don't. You don't need to be skinnier. You don't need to be more toned. You don't need to be even more flexible or have, I don't know, if we can take the toothbrush analogy, a second brushing teeth analogy, you don't need to have cleaner teeth. Is it going to positively impact your life if you do? Yes, of course it is. To never have to go to the dentist is a wonderful thing. To be able to tie your bootlaces up when you're going on your joyful hike up Snowdon without straining your back or having to sit on the floor, that's a wonderful thing. But really, we're climbing Snowdon because we get to. How exciting is that? We're going to see the view from the top if it's not a cloudy day. We're going to be able to eat food with our healthy teeth. Food that we love, including sugar, and even when we're not fasting and eating low carb. I mean, fucking hell, man. I was reading a thing, taking antibiotics at the minute, right? And I was reading a thing about the best way to take antibiotics, bearing in mind I haven't taken them in many years. You know, like, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my gut, la la la. And there was this blog post I read that was like, make sure you don't use soap or toothpaste when you're taking antibiotics. I'm just like, what? Are you fucking joking? You are fucking joking. I have a girlfriend who's vegan, and she went pretty extreme into the kind of raw vegan community at one point, and she was telling me about a kind of side thing of being super raw vegan was fluoride, right? Avoiding fluoride in toothpaste. She avoided fluoride in toothpaste for 2 years, or I think she was using coconut oil rather than toothpaste for 2 years, and she's had to remortgage her house to get the right amount of dental work done to fix her teeth again. I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know, really. Maybe just take it all with a pinch of salt. Don't bombard yourself with it all. You're doing good. You are doing just fine, love, honestly. You're doing amazing. Even if you fuck up, even if you fall off the wagon, even if it takes you 45 days to do a 30-day meditation challenge, you're doing fine. You are. Productive or not. Skinny or not. Whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot to this conversation, isn't there? And I feel like I've just waffled on, but yeah, my point is that these habits are wonderful, but don't beat yourself up for not maintaining them all of the time. Do the things that you enjoy. And again, it always comes back. I think these last few episodes, it's been like, how do we enjoy our life more? And that is my ultimate aim with me and with you, my friend. Because we're gonna die. How can we enjoy these wonderful fleeting moments before we do? That's a big one, isn't it? Good to be alive moment. What is it? What is it for you? I don't know what it is for me right now. I'm having a hard week. I'm having a week. Can someone send me a hug? No, do you know what? A good to be alive moment recently is just, I have a wonderful partner, and we're doing a bit of a long distance thing, which is hard, but seeing him, holy shit, so good. After a long period of time, just seeing my man is a really, unbelievably heartwarming, exciting thing. And isn't that a wonderful thing to be able to experience? Another example might be seeing your puppy after a while, or puppies in general, or eating chocolate chips right out the bag, which I have just done. No judgment, please. I don't know. What is your good to be alive moment? Isn't it great, though, to be alive? Be easier on yourself. Do the nice habits because you enjoy them, and you look great, okay? You do. You look great. I'll see you in the next episode. Loads of love. Thank you so much for listening, my friend. I hope you're feeling sparkly and inspired to live a more joyful life. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a rating. These things are invaluable to me, and share it with people who need it. This is about inspiring more people to be more connected and lead happier and more joyful lives. Join my inner circle for more inspiration. Learn more at the website theyogarevolution.co.uk and chloemarkham.co.uk. I'll see you in the next episode.